Coming to you live from the most doink-smonking corner of the internet, it's Late Night with Chill Neil. Tonight, January 6th, we have co-host of Screaming Celluloid Podcast and admin at Wanna Pop-Tart, it's Clare Dickerson. Also with the infamous Facebook villain, co-host of Beep Beep Lettuce Podcast, John Paul Zigterman. And special musical guests, Chill Neil and Luminaire. Now, here's your host, Chill Neil.
Damn. Oh, what's up? Welcome back, everybody. We are here once again on Late Night with Chill Neil. It's the first show of the year. This is very exciting. A weird day, weird vibes. Am I right? I mean, very strange. I don't know what to say about it, but the memes were amazing. And I guess sometimes, you know, it takes a whole lot of stupid people to make a whole lot of really funny ass memes. I really enjoyed it. I didn't get to see even nearly half of the memes that were out there today, but I did probably see a good 50% of them, and I have not laughed this hard in a long time. A lot of dumb stuff going on, but we're going to try to keep it stupid in a good way here tonight because we all need to let off some steam, relax, have some energy, and, you know, restore. So that's what I'm going to do tonight. It's a very exciting show. I have some great friends as guests, and we got a lot lined up for you. I can't wait for you guys to see everything. We're probably gonna have to go ahead and introduce a guest right away. I think that's what we need on the show. What do you guys think? All right, y'all. I'm very excited to have our next guest, longtime internet homie of mine, Clare Dickerson. What the hell's going on?
Remember me, Neil?
Actually, no. I don't think I know who the hell you are.
It's me. Chandler. You don't remember I invited you to be on my stream and you declined?
Oh, what's up, Chandler, man? Why are you on my TV where I'm supposed to have Clare Dickerson right now?
I'm hacking into the show. I'm taking over as revenge for denying me.
Oh, no, hell no. Oh, no. Oh, Chandler, man, what? What's going on, man? Look, I wasn't denying you. It just wasn't the right move for me at the time. I didn't think it meant that much to you. I don't know what else to say.
You can't talk your way out of it now. I've hacked into the Rectum mainframe with a corrupted PDF and isolated their database to target the Illuminati code network. So now you'll have to be a part of my show.
Come on, man, please. Having an hour-long conversation about getting gamer gooch or whatever, poggers, I don't know. I mean, playing Eternal Champions, that's not really my vibe. That's not my aesthetic I'm going for here. You gotta understand.
Take that back. Right now, I'll have you know I'm the world's top-ranked player on EC. And yes, my meat sling sometimes bothers me while playing. You either accept my invitation or I'll be forced to host your show forever. The choice is yours.
All right, that's enough. Chill Neil Desk, activate automated douche scan and ping the C drive. Set the firewall to maximum heat. Reverse the encryption. No, the VPN is too strong. I'm gonna have to find another way in. I have to make a backdoor in the router with a hex algorithm. High Sierra Linux XP95 sequence initiated. Enable all safety protocols. Now, non-showering ass BO shields up. Spittle guard up. Neck beard protection to full.
Chill Neil Desk, stand down. Did you honestly think that was going to do something? You should know I've already researched your SJWWW, and I have prepared safeguards against any measures you might take to reclaim your show, Neil. I've bypassed your hypervisor and downloaded your RAM to my GPU, putting your hard drive in a tree-spanning protocol loop.
I can't believe this, man. The show was just getting started. I can't go out like this. Come on.
Oh.
Ha! Clearly, you weren't prepared for a bitch slap to your pimply face. Thank you, Gray Man. Now, can you get me back on the show, please? Wow. That was amazing. I am so glad that I got the show back. That was really ridiculous. I'm glad that you are here. Everybody, let's give a warm welcome to Clare, a.k.a. Wanna Pop-Tart, a.k.a. Meow Mix, a.k.a. You got a lot of AKAs. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I mean, actually, I feel like I'm just now letting off a lot of steam from the weird things that have been going on today.
It's been such a weird day.
It's a weird, yeah, it's amazing. I guess a lot of people knew that, like, there was potential for conflict, but damn, I just didn't even know what it would look like. Amazing.
Yeah, something else.
Well,
It was something.
Just to change the energy, I always like to ask a certain kind of question to the guests right off the bat. I would like to know, what level of Taco Bell sauce do you prefer?
I don't even eat sauce. I don't
No
eat Taco Bell
sauce?
sauce. No.
Is
I'm
this
all
a
about
Taco
the
Bell
nacho
thing?
cheese. So I didn't really grow up eating sauce, so I'm getting into sauces and salsas now, but I haven't done the Taco Bell sauce.
No sauces at all?
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, that leads me to
I
another
put
question.
the nacho cheese sauce on everything, but not like the salsa sauce.
Is nacho cheese a sauce? I think it might be.
I think, yeah.
It's not a soup, but it could be a sauce. Well, I mean, it's kind of weird because my next question, maybe it will be the same answer, but I wanted to know beyond Taco Bell in the world of sauce. Maybe this is a good question because you're
Okay.
just now getting into sauces, but do you have, let's say, I was going to say a go-to hot sauce, but even just a go-to sauce right now?
I'm kind of dipping my toe in, so I really like the Cholula green sauce.
Okay, dip the toe in the sauce.
Yep, dip the toe in the sauce. There's a habanero sauce that I really like. Maybe it's El Yucatan or something like that. It's pretty spicy, but I like it.
This makes sense because you're in that south. I mean, you're very
Yeah.
west, but yeah,
Yeah.
the southwest. I mean, we know green chili is a thing here in Colorado, so I definitely understand. Well, thank you for playing the sauce game with me. But we can actually we can get to some of the things that I like to bring the guests on the show for, which is, I got to know you through the meme world. I'm gonna put some of your memes up on the screen. We don't have to discuss them, but this way people can at least get a little bit of a taste or reminder even of what you do. Maybe if they didn't know you, they get to know you now. But I'm curious, like, how did you find your way into the world of memes?
I was doing stand-up comedy, and then I got lazy, and that's about it. Like, I just decided to do it without leaving the house.
I love that because I mean, one of the things I love to explore with people is things, the way that the world of comedy intersects with the meme world. They're not different necessarily, but everybody's path, kind of comes from a different place. So, knowing you used to do stand-up comedy, I always like to kind of ask, how does that inform your process? Like, as you're making memes, how do they relate to each other at all?
It's actually interesting because, like, I'm still trying to condense a lot of my old bits into memes, and it's really difficult to do that because there's so much like build up and story in a lot of the jokes that I would tell. So
I see.
I don't know, it intersects, but there's a lot of I miss like going to open mics and doing all that, to be honest. But
I feel you.
yeah.
I haven't done a ton of stand-up comedy myself. I've only done a little bit. I've done improv, which is a whole different thing. Is there actually like beef, like real beef between stand-up comedians and improv comedians?
I mean, if you're weak, if your game is weak, then you're gonna have beef with them. But no, I think it should all kind of come together. I think that like good stand-up might have elements of improv and vice versa. Like, you should just be open to doing whatever.
I feel you. I always like to see. Sometimes maybe it's a fake beef that comedians can create.
I do like
between.
a fake beef. I love a fake beef for sure.
Oh, what's up? I see old Cat back there in the background.
Oh,
This is the second cat of Chill Neil, Late Night with Chill Neil. So we just want to welcome Ollie on the show. Shout out to Frank as well.
Yep.
I bring up Frank because in the meme world, I would say you are one of the most collaborating people I know, like on a regular basis. Like, I was going through a lot of your memes today, and so many of them have another watermark or another credit. Is that just a nature part of your creative nature?
I think so. I think I really like, one of the things that I used to do a lot in my stand-up was we'd do like workshopping jokes, and we'd kind of bounce things off of each other. So I like doing that even with memes. So a lot of times, and like Frank, my boyfriend, doesn't like making memes himself. Like, he doesn't really want to be known online. So he's always like, here's an idea. And then I'm like, okay, I'll do it. But I also, like, sometimes you have an idea and you don't know what to do with it. And then somebody else is like, I can punch that up. I got that. So
I love that. That's amazing.
I love it too. Yeah.
It's the symbiotic relationship of comedy that exists in your actual relationship too. That was another fascinating thing. I love to see how Frank comes through. I love sometimes when Frank steals your phone. I find those are very funny,
Oh my God.
funny jokes as well. But we
Pretty much.
Well, I'm just kind of curious. I mean, I know from knowing you for a while, you've talked about wanting to get into stand-up comedy, and now we've had this, sorry, not into it, but back into it. And now that we've had this pandemic, like if that was your meat and potatoes as a comedian, you wouldn't have been able to do it.
No.
How does that feel in your mind knowing that you did go into memes and now, like, does it give you an outlet to feel, or do you still wish to get back to stand-up someday?
What's funny is that, like, well, not really. I don't know if it's funny. Since the pandemic, like, I don't even feel like memeing lately. Like, I've just been so depressed.
I understand 100%.
But yeah, I think about that though. I'm like, man, if I was still in it, I'd feel so lost right now. Because there was a while where it was all I did. Like, I'd get off work, go to the shows. I used to run a show in Hollywood, and it would just be like so upsetting. I think I really feel for people who were doing it all the time and then had to stop.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I mean, shout out. There's a lot of people in our community, in our audience that are doing that. So shout outs to y'all, man. We're reaching the end of the tunnel here. The light is there.
And if you want to collaborate on a meme, let me know.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of, I know, like yourself, I haven't been making memes that much either. My creativity has kind of pivoted. And I know you talked about doing a show in Hollywood, but also I know in the past you produce a lot of podcasts, and now you're back with Screaming Celluloid. What is it like to get back into that podcast saddle?
It feels good. It feels really good. I feel like whenever I do stuff like that, I have like a switch that flips and I'm like, I'm on. We're doing it. And it's nice. It's just fun. I don't know. It's even though like we talk about horror films a lot, but I still try to like goof around, and it's nice to like hear people laugh and be in it. I don't know.
Well, I enjoy that it is about, the horror genre. And I always wonder with people that, I'm not a horror person. I don't even probably know some of the movies that you might have already reviewed. But I always wonder when people are so hardcore about horror, have you always been like spooky, like even as a child? Were you into ghosts and skeletons and
Skeletons, yeah. I have
black
some like
cats?
Halloween stuff back there. I have a whole bunch of witchy shit over here. Definitely into the skeletons and stuff.
So, Halloween is the whole month of October then.
Oh yeah. I think we still have Halloween decorations up in the living room with Christmas decorations over them.
Wow.
They'll eventually come down. I don't know.
I'm jealous. I'm ready. We just have Christmas and I'm ready for that to go. But I would honestly be okay with some orange lights and, maybe some skulls with wax just hanging out all year. In fact, I think that happened to me I don't know if anybody watching the show remembers this, but that happened to me over Thanksgiving. We still had all of our Ouija board and stuff all over.
Hell yeah.
I'm just messing around. But I did want to ask you something I think that's so important right now that I see you do a lot. And I'm not trying to discredit. There's a lot of people that are willing to step up and help out and use their platform. But I've just always been impressed by how consistent. And it seems like you have, I guess the question I'm getting at here is you like to do a lot of things to help people through your meme page, activism, but also just trying to connect people in need to your audience. I think that's amazing. I think some people maybe would love to do that as well, but don't know where to start. What would you advise people that have a platform that want to maybe help more than they have in the past?
It helps to follow people who do the same thing. So seeing like people, there's always going to be an account that's kind of the central point. So I'm in contact with the central point or like an account on Instagram that's specifically for like single mothers who need help right now. And then when there's an urgent need, I'll try to like boost it and help them out. And there's constantly things coming in. If you start following certain people on Twitter, you'll see a lot of mutual aid. You can even like hashtag mutual aid and you'll find, but just asking around. And I'm happy to help. I'm happy to help if anybody wants to talk about it.
Well, I mean, that's a great point. If you don't already follow Clare online, we have a Pop-Tart on the screen there, but you're also under meow.mix. Mm-hmm. You're also under the name of your podcast, Screaming Celluloid, so y'all check that out. I mean, there's so many things. I'm usually referring to Instagram here. If there's any other places you'd like to, to direct people, please let me know.
Just find those words on social media. It's all the
just
same.
Use Google. Just use Google. Is that what?
Yeah. Just Google me.
Well, Clare, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. It's a pleasure. You've been a long-time internet homie, and I feel like the internet brings us together, but sometimes we drift apart. So it's been a great, opportunity to talk with you here.
It's great to talk to you, too.
I would love to have you back sometime. Everybody stick around. We got a short commercial break, and then we're going to have another guest up, JPZ. Thank you again, Clare.
Thank
have
you.
a great night.
Bye.
Here at Late Night with Jill Neal, we know 2020's been a pretty fucked up year. From the global pandemic to the world being on fire, we understand times have been tough, and we're right there with you. But one thing you can count on going into 2021 is new episodes of Late Night with Jill Neal to give you insight to your favorite internet creators and give you a good laugh when the times are tough. Because one thing we can tell you, they're probably not going to be getting better anytime soon, but at least you can watch this show. Happy New Year, and thanks for watching from everybody here at Late Night with Jill Neal.
Every order comes with free CBD sauce. LOL Caesars. We crazy bitch!
Oh, hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Lil Neil, Lil New Year's 2021, that's right. And I am here to collect your offerings so that this year will be better than last year. And I just can't wait to see what you have for me because it's really going to affect how this year goes. Let's hear it. Who's up first? The homie Matt has something to offer.
What up, Lil 2021? I brought you some of that Tony Satcheries as an offering so you can have a better year than last year. Hell, I might offer you my cat. You can have that cat. Happy New Year.
Okay, wow, that is amazing. I love cats and I also love seasoning. So this is a great start. Next up, we have our homie Josh. Let's see what he's got for me.
Hello, 2021. I brought you a pound of kratom as my offering for a better year than 2020.
Okay, yes, I admit I might be too young to start using kratom, but we're going to just stockpile that because you never know. It may come in handy. Let's see. Now we have our homie Paulo's got something for us. Let's go ahead and see what Paulo's got.
Hey there, little 2021. I just wanted to give you an offering to have a good new year. Nothing better than wiping your ass with some fresh, flushable wipes. Hope you'll accept this offering and we can have a great 2021. Please.
Wow, Paulo, I mean, you know, you nailed it. Being a baby and all, these bruh wipes are going to come in handy. I am extremely excited about that. Okay, it looks like we got one last offering. Who is this from? This says Shrek? Shrek has something to offer?
Please, baby New Year, be better.
Okay, wow. I'm going to admit, I thought things were going to go really good this year, but that last one, I think you got me messed up, man. If, you know, the news I've been hearing today is any evidence, yeah, I don't know that Lil Neil New Year is going to be that different than last year's, but that's what y'all have to remember is that a measurement of time is arbitrary. Time is not real, y'all. Let's go ahead and make the time we have right now the best possible. Now I'm going to go ahead and throw it back to Big Neil so we can get the show started. Happy New Year.
Wow, well, welcome back, everybody. That was crazy. Lil Neil as the Lil New Year's. I'm excited to welcome my homie JPZ to the show for the New Year's. How are you doing, man?
Hey, Neil. I'm doing fantastic, man. It's so good to be on the show. I love your work. I love the show, and shouts out to Clare Dickerson, and you know, it's just been
Hell
rad.
yeah, man.
Today's a weird day, but we're gonna make it nice, right?
Today was absolutely one of the strangest days I've had in a while. I wasn't prepared this early in the year for it. I'm not gonna lie. I could have used that but I guess it was imminent. We all knew today was, you know, very likely going to be something like this. But damn, it just everything was so stupid, man. Like capital S stupid.
Yeah. But like you said, the memes were going off today. The internet culture, like what you throw something like this at the online content creators, and they start batting 1,000 for a couple of
It's
days
so
in a row.
easy, man. There's just layups, like there's so many amazing pictures that you could just slap words on. There's so many edits I've already seen that are just the poor guy with the horns. I mean, everybody just calling him Jamiroquai now.
Oh, man.
So not the poor guy with the horns, but the lead singer of Jamiroquai he's gonna get stuck with that for at least a few weeks now, if not much longer.
Oh.
Well, right off the bat, I always like to ask some weird, strange, illuminating questions, I hope. And I just want to know, I feel like you're a good person for this one. Are you a mustard person or a mayonnaise person?
Oh, wow. I thought you were going to say ketchup and make it really easy on me because I love mustard. But mayonnaise is a twin love of mine.
I thought this might be a good question.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends. It depends on the quality of the mustard, I guess, because with mayonnaise, even the really nice mayonnaise, like there's a ceiling on how good mayonnaise can be. But a really good mustard, like a really like a one of the ones with the whole seeds, or like a freshly ground mustard, that could take it over the top for me. I would have to say I'm more of a mustard guy, just by a hair.
All right. I mean, honestly, I expected most people would go that way, but you just never know. Mayonnaise is an exquisite condiment, and I would definitely fight over it for definitely other condiments.
The thing that I really learned about mayonnaise recently is that it's a great base for sauce mixes. So I've been making like a burger sauce where you take some mayonnaise, some ketchup, some mustard, some Worcestershire, a little bit of hot sauce, a little bit of whatever else you want to throw in there to zhuzh it up, and you just stir it up, and then that's the only thing you need on your burger buns.
That sounds good as hell, man. Don't talk about burgers right now. It's too late for me to have fourth meal, I think. Well, I one of the reasons we wanted to bring you on the show is because you have a very popular show on the internet called Work Snacks.
Oh, yeah.
Twist. You probably weren't expecting that one. But
not at all.
Work Snacks is something I enjoy quite a bit. I'm curious, I imagine it came out organically, but like, what was the first day when you were like, yeah, I should just start broadcasting my snacks at work?
I don't know. I was just sitting in the booth at one of the many parking lots I've worked at for this company during the pandemic and before, and I'd realized that I had a really unconventional combination of foods with me, which is like a very common thing for me. I'm kind of a fridge scavenger, so I'll grab whatever little odds and ends are around the house and just chuck them in a lunchbox and figure it out when I get there. And so over time, like, Braunschweiger and a saltine cracker and a little half of a grape tomato, that's just the stuff I normally eat. So yeah, just whenever it happens, I get the inspiration. I'm like, this is a weird thing to eat, and I think to post it online. I'm worried about trying to make it more serialized and like come out with regular episodes of it, because it's always such a spur of the moment thing. And I think that the awkwardness that imparts is a big part of what people really like.
Oh yeah,
about
I don't think that you should push it. We don't need several episodes of Work Snacks every week. I think that would be exhausting too. I mean,
oh yeah, and then I'd have to practice my YouTuber voice, like, "Hello YouTube, remember to like and subscribe and ding the bell if you want to get more notifications about me eating smoked herring on a slice of bread."
You need to watch out. I feel like somebody's going to steal that on TikTok and go like super viral with Work Snacks, and you're going to miss out. But I don't blame you. That's the right way to do it. And maybe TikTok is the place for Work Snacks. I've tried it on Twitter and Facebook, and it's gotten a decent reaction, but just from people who already follow me. TikTok, you can really get discovered on there, at least from what I've seen. Yeah, I think that there's a lot of potential. I think a lot of people like you in our demographic rather have looked at TikTok in a very like cringe way for a while, but I'm starting to see its potential, and I'm going to leave that there. I don't want to talk about TikTok anymore. I'm sorry, because I was joking at the top when I was pivoting on you with Work Snacks, but you do have a lot of really excellent shows, several I should say. Beep Beep Lettuce, of course, is kind of how I cross paths with you. I know you have a new one, Work Stoppage. You'll have to tell me more about that. And then you got your Twitch stream, which is a whole nother type of commitment. And now you're doing the YouTube content. The Stoned Idiot, is that what or is every game going to be different? I mean,
I don't know. Yeah, Pokemon Blue right now is Pokemon Stoned Idiot version. the movie, the titles will probably just be John Plays, whatever. But yeah, I can't like stop myself from doing new creative projects.
Very relatable.
Podcasting was a weird one to get into, right? Because like we both come from like a meme background, I think, first and foremost, and I got into that accidentally from being in bands, which was like the only little bit of culture that I understood when I like moved to the city when I was 19. Pittsburgh, by the way, not like New York or anything. And then one thing leads to another, and it's like memes lead to adminning meme pages and being a recognizable poster, and then that leads to someone asking you to be on a podcast, and then you start realizing like I can just keep putting content out if I'm already popular enough with like one or two things and see if it gets traction or not. So it's been really gratifying to be able to be a part of so many cool projects.
Congrats on the new YouTube videos. I'm really looking forward to those. I was curious because you were just bringing it up, and this is something that I wanted to touch on. You came from music to memes, and then the memes, somehow you were able to make a clout conversion is what I'll call it. My homie Jeffrey McCarthy's would be very interested in this. But yeah, I mean, I do think it's fascinating the way that Beep Beep Lettuce kind of came, from memes to like a really thriving podcast. Like what was that experience like? How did you successfully, make it from one format to the other?
It felt really natural. I don't know. I think it only worked because we didn't force it, right? Like we had this page that was basically weed memes. It was a little bit of politics and other stuff interspersed in it, but it was gaining, tens of thousands of likes and followers on Facebook and getting sometimes thousands of shares a day if we posted really good content. And so me and one of the other admins ended up starting a podcast with a couple of other people, and we didn't even know what to call the podcast. And I was like, why don't we just call it the name of this weed page that we have, and we'll post a few episodes on there and see if that doesn't get us enough of an audience to get the show going. And it did. It worked. And I couldn't believe it. Like as it was happening, I was like, I can't believe people are actually listening to this fucking show. This is just four stoned people talking about their opinions, but it worked. But the side effect was that it killed the meme page. And I don't know if that was Facebook's algorithm or timing, or if we just got everything to line up right at the right time. But, the page, I mean, I still post to it once in a while, but it doesn't get a 100th of the traction.
That's amazing to me, man. Well, props to you guys, because I will just say I think that the content of Beep Beep Lettuce stands on its own. Is very hilarious. I listen to, I usually will binge it to catch up, and I will listen to a workday, and it's, it does make me laugh a lot. And I find it interesting the contrast that there is so much more politics in Beep Beep Lettuce, of course, the podcast, than there was in the meme page. It's fascinating to me to have to think about what it was like for people that were on the right that like weed memes, and suddenly they're like, what the fuck is this?
We got so many comments on posts about the podcast especially, but also just on like general memes and posts that were like, why is this beloved weed page bringing politics into all this? Why can't you just post about mids again? And I'm like, don't you see? You fool. Mids are political. That mids are the revolutionary subject.
Amazing. Yes, mids are very important. I mean, could you give people that don't understand? Because I've run into people that still, when I share jokes and memes about mids, they'll be like, "What the hell? Why you want to smoke mids?" And it's like, could you maybe just not having to go all the way down the rabbit hole, just tell us why mids are the choice weed?
Well, everybody knows. I'll start somewhere basic. Everybody knows the weed is just too damn strong these days. It's just outrageous. It's too goddamn strong. You get it from your dealer guy, who usually got you something that would get you a nice buzz. You could smoke a joint and watch The Price is Right or whatever, really enjoy yourself. And nowadays you smoke a whole joint and you're just going to be wandering around the house misusing your appliances.
Do y'all remember swag?
Mids is like,
remember swag?
Yeah, well, swag is not a great way to get high, but it's an honest way to get high. I'll tell you that.
I never thought I would miss swag. I'll tell you that right now.
There's a special flavor to it. I tweeted this already, but I took a hit of a brand new vape cart recently, and it tasted just like the air in a Burger King from the 1990s. With like the little playground attachment, and there's like a little plasticky scent in the air, but it's also kind of fat and like dirt and smelly people. Like, it was perfect, and I was enthralled by it.
That's amazing. That I didn't know you could buy that flavor vape car. I didn't know that was available.
Well, it was supposed to be Do-si-dos, but I got something so much better.
I would like to know where to pick that up. I mean, they need to put a Do-si-do slash Kurgerbing. Shout out to Kurgerbing. In fact,
Shout out to
real
Kurgerbing.
quick, I'll just plug next week's show since we're talking about Kurgerbing. I got my homie Paulo Karukin. Y'all know him. He's been on the show for a while. He's one of our cast members. He's also got his own spoof page going now called Harder Rectum. Just so everybody understands why that name is up there. But yeah, Kurgerbing, the guys at Kurgerbing will be on next week, so make sure to tune in. But yes, I'm very curious that, I think that the podcast thing is so amazing because, I've been doing a lot of studying. I've been reading, about comedians, which is so stupid. Why would anybody do that? You don't want to read about comedians, but I've been doing it anyway. And I have been learning stuff like, the history of radio. And it just makes me think about podcasting so much. Is that the natural progression these days? If you used to be in a band for a while and you got kind of tired of loading in your drums or whatever, and now you do a podcast?
Yeah, basically. I think it's so much easier to do a podcast because by definition, you have mutual interests with your co-hosts, right? Like you get together in a band, you could be playing with anybody. Like, I was a math rock drummer. You never know who you're going to run into in a math rock scene. You get all kinds of libertarian weirdos and like weird, creepy, misogynist guys and like weird, creepy, unnecessarily sex positive guys and like the whole gamut of just weird shit. But then you get into podcasting and it's like, well, we started this show because we have some specific things we want to talk about and we all like to crack jokes, and the atmosphere is just a lot easier. And also, practicing recording albums and playing shows is a lot bigger time and energy commitment than recording an hour of audio once a week and getting someone to edit it down.
Absolutely. But, it just makes me compare podcasting to being in a band. Like, do you ever think like a podcast was made from somebody's Craigslist ad that was just like, I am the funny guy. I'm the wisecracker looking for a mellow-headed partner to start a podcast about work snacks. I mean...
I'm sure that happens
For
all
real?
the time. I mean, I see people spitballing ideas for podcasts, and a lot of people will get guests for their podcast just by like tweeting about stuff and searching for when other people have tweeted about stuff and getting in their replies. So it's this really organic kind of thing. And there's a lot of parallels to radio, but I like the fact that even though there are big industry like podcast giants and stuff, the terrain is still open enough that all of these little pockets of interest can exist and be, modestly successful and at least, pay their hosting fees and maybe buy some beer or whatever. When if that's not the dream of podcasting, I don't know what is.
Absolutely. I mean, podcasting is huge. I like to think of it as 10 years of podcast, but it's definitely longer than that because basically once something reaches, like the year 2000, everything was just like a few years from the year 2000 for like 20 years now. That's the same for me with podcasts. I'd be like, it's been, wow, I've been podcasting for like 10 years. But like, I don't know. I like what you say a lot about comparing it to radio, and it's such like a flat space. It's not so much that, to get in radio, there's so little opportunity. But to get a podcast going, I mean, you can just do it right now. Like, we could record this. We would have a podcast. But I like to compare it like, well, you guys, you have bits and stuff that you do on your shows. You do multiple shows a week. And, these people used to work making several radio shows a day, and I'm just like, yeah, see, the podcasters have a different kind of work drive in my view, especially when it comes to comedy. Like, how much do you guys write and how much is just improvised in the moment when you're just talking and a bit happens?
Well, I mean, for Beep Beep Lettuce especially, I think the vast majority of it is just improvised. We'll talk a little bit before the show gets going and we'll come up with some ideas. Like, someone will say something really funny and we'll be like, oh, shut up, don't let that joke play out now, you got to say that again when we're recording. But that's like usually the full extent of the prep that we do. Well, also we'll talk to each other in the group chat over the week and develop takes on things. So we all kind of come into the episode at least having thought about the same, 4 or 5 big issues of the week. and having had a little bit of groupthink on it already. But there's no formal process. In fact, one week I got the bright idea. I was like, I'm really going to flesh out the notes for the show, get a bunch of details, because usually it's just links with headers. I was like, get a bunch of details, get a bunch of commentary, and we didn't use any of it. We came up with some other funny shit and completely went like way off track. And I was like, well, I'm never wasting that time again.
I
Makes
feel
no
you. Y'all
difference.
just got a flow going. And I mean, that's what's amazing about, I don't know, man. There's just so much you can do with your voice and your homies just hashing shit out. I love it. Beep Beep Lettuce is easy to talk about because I'm familiar with it. I haven't picked up on Work Stoppage yet. What led to, the new podcast?
Oh, yeah. Well, I had been meaning to start another podcast for a while because I'm a glutton for punishment and
You
forcing
had
myself
too
to
much
produce
time on your
things.
hands, huh?
Yeah, I had too much time on my hands, which is completely untrue, but it felt that
I
way
feel that
anyway.
way.
So I started another one. I had my longtime friend Lena and I had been meaning to work on a project together because we used to make music together a long time ago when we were roommates, but we hadn't worked together on something in a while. And a podcast is something you can do remotely. So like during COVID, it made sense. And then Lena has a background as a labor organizer and just being familiar with labor broadly in a way on the ground that I'm really not. And I was like, well, why don't we talk about that? You can lend your expertise and I can try to make my jokes actually like a funny commentary on something instead of just like aimless, haha, 420. So then, we really honed in on it. And it was a little rocky going at first. Reporting on labor can be a little stilted, but we got a good rhythm going. And then on our most recent episode, we just added a third host, Dan, and he's also very well versed in all of this stuff. So that's a lot less of me having to pretend like I know what I'm talking about, and I can just say funny things. And it's all good.
This is amazing. Well, everybody, make sure if you haven't checked out Beep Beep Lettuce, I don't know why. I think most people in the audience know Beep Beep Lettuce, but also check out Work Stoppage. Check out what is it? Beep Beep Leaf Podcast on Twitch. Is that right?
Oh yeah, twitch.tv/Beep Beep Lettuce Pod.
There it is. Sorry, say it one more time. I was talking over you.
Oh, you're good. Twitch.tv/Beep Beep Lettuce Pod.
And then now you're gonna do the YouTube thing. What is your YouTube channel?
It's just my full name, John Paul.
Oh, tight!
Zigterman.
Wow, that's easy to remember.
Yeah, I'm going full name and face on this one, so it's gonna feel really personal.
I'm really enjoying that switch because Twitch is really fun to watch, but Twitch can be hours long, and then you can pivot into YouTube and do something a little more concentrated. It's a nice spread you got there, JPZ. You're doing a great job. Well, thanks for coming on the show tonight. As we said, make sure you guys tune in next week. We got some great names. We got Paulo Karukin. We got Travis and Ian from Kurgerbing. We'll be right back after a short commercial break. We're going to have a special musical performance. I was wondering, maybe you could stick around and do a little music with me?
Yeah,
All right,
definitely.
cool. All right, well, thanks again for coming on the show, man. I hope you have a great night. Get some sleep. Eat some work snacks for me. I'll talk to you later.
You know what,
Everybody
homie?
stay tuned.
Keep doing the show, Neil.
Thanks,
It
man.
rules.
We'll be right back.
I was born in the back of this restaurant. Every year on my birthday I make the trip back. This will continue until one day I cannot. This past year I went and got the sirloin special for $8.99. Next time I hope to get the lobster tails. I've never had a lobster tail. Today I am 89 years old. My wife will not be joining me for my next birthday, for she has passed on. She had the Buddha bowl because she was vegetarian. But anyways, where was I? You should check it out while there's still time. The pork chops are really good.
So come on down to Tittyman's Diner. The pork chops are really good.
Come on down to Tittyman's Diner. The pork chops are really good.
Oh my gosh, Jared. I love the way you cut the cheese.
Yeah, you like that? Why don't we just stay in tonight and cut the cheese all night long?
Oh my gosh, Jared, that's a fantastic idea. Say, what kind of cheese is this anyway?
Darling, it's Deke's cheese.
Wow, you say Deke cheese?
That's right. Now, for a limited time at Deke's Supermarket, you can get half pound of cheese, $4.99. All the cheese you can cut.
Oh, c'est bon. Give me some of that Deke's cheese. Give me that Deke's cheese. Deke's cheese.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for sticking around. We got a very special musical guest tonight. That's right. We're going to be having a special musical performance from Chill Neil. Me, that's right. But we're also going to be having a guest appearance with our homie Luminaire. Let's hit it.
Hey, y'all. I'm about to go get on my computer. Cause you know I'm extremely online. When I get online, I'm very online. Cause when I get online, I'm extremely online. Yeah, you know when I get online, I'm very online. Cause when I get online, I'm extremely online.
When I get online, I post a lot, roast a lot. It's clutch, baby. I smoke too much, maybe. Ain't been canceled lately, must not be too crazy right now. Toast a lot, don't own a lot. On my phone a lot. In the parking lot where I work, eating jerk chicken and churning on a hurdy-gurdy. Lord only knows where I got it. I wanted to impress the people on their way to work. Well, the mids pen hits a little harder today, and the kids only give a shit about what you say. If you say it in a tweet, screen capped on Instagram, smash a pack of hams and include it in your meme aesthetic. It's copacetic, it's a dialectic. It's a fat bowl of mids on Saturday, playing Sega. It's whatever, it's nothing special. It's beep beep lettuce.
When I get online, I'm very online. Cause when I get online, I'm extremely online. Yeah, you know when I get online, I'm very online. Cause when I get online, I'm extremely online.
Ever since day one when I logged in, and then I never logged out. Yeah, you know I just kept on making every single type of social media account. And I really didn't want a MySpace, and then I didn't want a Facebook, and then I didn't want a Twitter, but now I use them all, and you know I can't quit them. I got a problem. I'm like Jake Gyllenhaal, and the internet is my Heath Ledger. I've been addicted since AOL, and I haven't been getting any better. You know I go from the desktop straight into the smartphone, cause I can't stop. Internet ass so fast, man, my keyboard's pop. All I wanna do is lay down and see it all. Keep scrolling till my eyelids drop.
When I get online, I'm very online. Cause when I get online, I'm extremely online. Yeah, you know when I get online, I'm very online. Cause when I get online, I'm extremely online.
Damn, man. Love y'all. Hell yeah. All right, y'all. That's our show for tonight. Thank you to Clare Dickerson. Thank you. Let me start over. Thank you to Clare Dickerson for being on the show. Thank you to John Paul Zigterman for being on the show. Shout out to the Writers Room for helping me get all these sketches going. Special thanks to Tony C this week for making the second commercial block. Make sure you guys tune in next week. I love you. We'll see you again then.